we now know that the assessment that Ukraine would fall quickly was wrong. But what does that, what do we know, given that the same people are making these assessments in the American military, of how the American military supplies can help Ukraine now? Exactly which supplies is Ukraine capable of using? Which supplies are too complex for them to use? There seems to be a gap in what Ukraine asks for and what the Pentagon thinks they're actually capable of operating there.
Well, at least now we do have 5 weeks of real world experience to give us some idea of how the battlefield operates in Ukraine. It's unlike before the war where people were sort of assuming we knew what the Russians could do and what the Ukrainians do, and we were proven wrong on both. I think there's some interesting signs of what the Ukrainians, the Pentagon believes the Ukrainians can do. They're absolutely flooding Ukraine with anti-tank weaponry. Secretary Blinken gave a talk earlier today where he said there were 10 anti-tank weapons in Ukraine for every Russian tank. And if so, that's a very high ratio and puts Ukraine in a very good position. Another interesting report that came out, which was, I think, off the record, but is probably quite trustworthy, is that Ukrainian soldiers are actually now in the United States training to use Switchblade drones. So that they're there trying to be trained on the, and I would assume their ability to operate UAVs has been very, very high, and drones, so that they could use the Switchblade system, but that they are going to be given a significant number of this high grade UAV system.
Yeah, Courtney Kube confirmed that for us tonight. What is it, given that this issue of assessment of what Russia's capable of, assessment of what Ukraine is capable of, is so crucial to everyday decisions going forward? The system that was making those assessments in the first few days was wrong. Have they caught up? Have they adjusted on the field to being able to assess what's happening?
I think mostly. I mean, and you don't want to now knock the Russians too much simply for the fact, the Russian military has not performed well, but you don't want to assume it can never perform well or you'll be too complacent. What is interesting is how we now look at what's going on in Donbass. I mean, it's quite clear the Russians are out of Kyiv. They've pulled everything out of Kyiv, or almost everything, except what they left behind in their rush. So it's what they can do in Donbass. And we have on the one hand, we can see they are trying to get force there, but they still don't have a great ability to move quickly. I mean, that they've made this their priority, and they're just having the ability to sort of inch forward day by day. So, we don't want to say they can't do anything dramatic. On the other hand, I think we have to be very careful about saying, they're going to run and bash through and take Dnipro in some sort of blitzkrieg type operation. I think we want to look at it in a measured way and give the Ukrainians the kind of weaponry, first of all, to stop the Russians from moving. That it will be very difficult for the Ukrainians to begin attacking. I think that will change the dynamic of the war.